Welcome to the Shore Football Report. I'm Coach Rob Davis, and today we have a special edition, a college football recruiting edition, and I got a special guest, and let's get right to it, okay? We have Tom Pajic with Jersey Gridiron Scout with us today. Coach Pajic runs senior and underclassmen showcases in the state of New Jersey as a platform for college exposure for high school prospects. I have known Coach for a long time and wanted to bring him in on the show to discuss Jersey Gridiron Scout LLC, as well as discuss what is happening in college recruiting from November to National Signing Day in February. So let's get right to it. Coach, thank you for coming on the show today and taking some time and talking a little college football recruiting.
Hey, morning, Coach. Good to see you in a Zoom presentation here. Glad you're having me on. Excited to be a part of it.
I'm excited, Coach. I don't know if you realize, but I'm covering the short conference football, and I was spreading your name out to everybody and all that. And I said I got to get you on the show because I've known you for 25 years, and I want more people to know you. But the short conference coaches all know you, but we got to get the kids and the parents to all know you because you got something special going on this month.
Sure. Coach, certainly I know what you're doing. I've been following the Shore Football Report and what you're doing with the Shore Conference. And like you said, we go back a long way. And, being so many different places, I've always had Eastern Pennsylvania as my recruiting areas in New Jersey and always been in to see your guys in Barnegat. And now this is it's a great opportunity. Again, we're both providing a platform for high school kids across the state. And we're certainly having a great function there in Manalapan and Sportica that we'll get into here in a bit.
Coach, we want to make this quick and right to the point for all our audience. So let's just get right into it. Right into it. Coach Pajic, you have coached a long time in the college ranks. Give us a little background on how you started everything.
Football's been great for myself and my family for Coach over 25 years. Goes all the way back to Gettysburg College with Barry Streeter. Was there for 1 year in 1994, and what a class act he was.
Yes.
Remained at that school for a long time until he retired, and really got off the floor with great mentorship. I've been fortunate all the stops I've been. What great leadership and what great mentorship I was able to take on. Went to Fordham in the Boogie Down Bronx for 4 years with Coach Quintaro. Had a great experience there. Went to Hofstra following that in 1998 for 1 year with the legendary Joe Gardy. I coached Jets head football coach.
I coached at Lacey, worked there with his brother, John Gardy. Yeah. And the sack exchange guy, you had, he was the D-line coach for the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Joe Gardy. Yeah.
Again, it's funny how you look back. That's the who's who of coaching.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Flood was there, obviously the head coach at Rutgers for a while, at Alabama. Dave Brock in the NFL. Dan Quinn in the NFL. Raheem Morris in the NFL. Holy smokes. Joe Woods in the NFL. Holy smokes.
And Tom Pajic right here. That's all that counts.
Jersey Gridiron Scout, buddy. You got it. Was able to go on to from Hofstra as a receivers coach to Wilkes University for my first offensive coordinator job in Eastern Pennsylvania. I met my wife there. That's where it all started for me, so that was pretty awesome. And then was able to take the big leap from Division III to Division I, University of South Florida in Tampa for Jim Levitt for 4 years. That was a great experience. People don't believe it. He built that program from scratch. We were in trailers, Coach. The coaches were in 3 modular trailers. There was the head coach, administration, the defense, and the offense in a little compound. Now, that was pretty cool. Met some friends for life there and had a great experience there. Left Hofstra, returned as the offensive coordinator to my alma mater at Bloomsburg University in the PSAC East in Eastern Pennsylvania for 8 years. Played there for 4 years, coached there for 8 as the OC. Had a great run. Danny Hale was the former head coach at Westchester, then Bloomsburg. He's in the Hall of Fame. Had a chance to go to the national semifinal game against Northwest Missouri State. We've had 2 Harlan Hill Trophy winners as the best players in college football, Division II. I think we were 79 and 19 over the 8 years we were there, and just a whole heck of a lot of fun. We had Jersey kids on the roster. We had Pennsylvania kids on the roster, and that was a lot of fun work. Pretty much, 8 years, a long time, coach, as you know, in the college coaching days. Finished up at Bloomsburg, decided to take a leap, and always had goals to be a head football coach.
Mm-hmm.
So we moved to the Midwest, and Quincy University, Division II school, was transitioning from NAIA to Division II.
Mm-hmm.
Was there for 5 years. Had a great experience there. I had dreams, like I said, to be a head coach, and I really worked hard to build it from the ground up. Awesome place to be. People in the Midwest are fantastic human beings. Met friends for life there, to the point where we've flown our daughter and our son back without us to spend time with her friends and families in the Midwest. And that speaks volumes about the people there. Had a great run there, and decided to, after 25 years, coach, come on home. As a coach in college coaching, you're kind of a nomad. I'm from New Jersey. I'm from South Jersey, and take a lot of pride in that. And football's been great, given, as we all know, given us our whole life, and part of that, that's who we are as men. It's football's, not who we are, but it's what we do. We put a lot of energy and passion into it. Wanted a chance to come home. My family's here. My mom and dad are still here. All my cousins and relatives, and wanted to move back. And my son and daughter, they're sophomores and juniors in high school here, and moved back to Temple. Jeff Collins called. I was able to go back as a director of player personnel in charge of recruiting and work with him, and then doubled as a senior offensive advisor for the offensive staff. Well, just what an experience. Coach Collins I've known since the Fordham days. It was actually, Coach Quattaro put a stack of resumes on my desk, and he said, Tom, I need 3 graduate assistants. Well, one of the resumes I pulled was Jeff Collins. So Jeff Collins, head coach at Temple, head coach at Georgia Tech as we speak, and been friends for life. Dave Patnode, Vinny Sinagra, all those guys. And then when Jeff got the job at Georgia Tech, we talked as a family. We had just moved from Quincy, Illinois, Rob. So my kids didn't want to move them again. We decided as a family, you know what? Let's get off the merry-go-round. It's been a great run. Had a lot of fun. Made some friends for life. Coached a lot of young men. Enjoyed being a part of their lives through college coaching. And started Jersey Gridiron Scout.
Awesome. I love
we're
it.
Going into our second year with Jersey Gridiron Scout, and I'm fired up about it. So that's pretty much the spiel after 25 years. And happy to be moving forward with something different. New challenge for us, Rob.
Coach, you've been very good to myself in my program when I was at Barnegat, and I loved keeping in touch with you. And you were recruiting from a different end. You were recruiting for your players. You wanted them for your program. Now what you're doing is you're helping them for recruiting to go to other places. And you do such a great job. And you have so much knowledge and experience. And hopefully these kids take advantage of your showcase, which is going to happen later on, what you'll talk about later on. All right, Coach, you have 2 senior showcases coming up in December. I have both of them up on the screen. Can you talk a little bit about both?
Yes, right away, Coach. I think what you see is some great media coverage from some organizations that cover high school football throughout the year in the state of New Jersey. And it starts with you, the Shore Football Report. You'll be there taking notes, promoting the high school kids, everything you do with all conference teams, with the rankings, all the players in the Shore Conference, all the guest coaches you have, once again, promoting the kids in the area. Dave McCarthy, obviously going to be there.
Yes.
His dad covered me, Coach, when I was in high school in 1987.
Great guy.
Dave does a great job promoting these kids, getting their name out. We got Vic Castillo. We got Antoine Hicks. We got Darius Flowers from Prep Red Zone, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. They're going to have 3 beat writers there, Coach, covering these kids.
I love it.
They do a great job with all the articles for all the kids in the state. Then you have right there, Coach, Gridiron Access. I don't know if you're familiar with Gridiron Access. They do a tremendous job. They're a sports marketing company. If you ever just check them out on Twitter, on Instagram, what they do with their videography is fantastic. The highlights, the promotions they do for all these kids, the high schools. They did a great piece on Woodbridge throughout the season. They did a great piece down here at the Battle of the Beach. Look back in August. So that's the Manalapan one, Coach. That's December 11th, 2021. It's from 9 to 12. It's at Sportica Sports in Manalapan. Registration deadline for that is December 5th. That's about 9 or 10 days away as we speak. Register at jerseygridironscout.com. You can follow us for more information at Coach Pajic on Twitter, Jersey Gridiron Scout on Instagram. That's going to be a great event. And then just real quick, Coach. So again, just in 2 years, we've gone running from 2 showcases in the first year to 4 in the second year. 2 seniors in the winter and 2 spring in the springtime. 2 underclassmen in the springtime. And the second one right there, same cast of characters with Gridiron Access, Prep Red Zone. Now, we also have Glory Days Magazine. I don't know if you're familiar with
Oh,
Mark
I know
Sullivan,
that guy. Yep,
Dave
Sullivan.
O'Sullivan. They do
Yep.
a great job with the Football Frenzy Show on Wednesday nights throughout the season. Mark Tribble's a great beat writer down here. He's
Yes,
got
he
his Hats
is.
Off podcast
Yep.
on Sunday mornings. That's going to be 2 sessions, Coach.
Mhm.
That is December 18th. Session 1 is 9 to 11. As you can see right there, O-line, D-line, running back, linebacker.
Mhm.
Session 2 is 1 to 3, quarterback, receiver, tight end, and DB. And, Coach, that's sponsored by the Coaches Association. And we're fired up to have that. We get great support down here. Again, like I said, from being down here, and they make it run. It's been awesome. Anytime the Coaches Association put their name on something, that shows great support. And I appreciate that. That's going to be held at the Fieldhouse Morristown, which is a great indoor facility as well. That again is December 18th, with that registration deadline December 11th. So it's shaping up to be some great events. We're looking to maximize at both events, Coach. They both hold over 150 kids, and our registrations are flying through. And it's going to be a great event, and we're happy to have you and all the other organizations. We've also added since then, Coach, just real quick, certainly to the Sportica one. Brian Carr from North Jersey, football analyst, he's going to be there. Talking to Bob Batters, he's also going to try to be there. There's great coverage with what you guys are doing.
Oh, yeah.
And then we've added, Jason Wamba at the Asylum Sports Center. Certainly, a lot of kids train in and out of season. They do a great job up that way. And then Bill Kovalheim, who handles tackle depression. So it's another resource, another organization. Again, we're a platform, Coach, trying to provide for the high school prospects in the state, and not just football, but other things outside of football. That's certainly going to lend a hand to what we do, and we're excited to get this rocking and rolling.
Coach, I love it, man. And parents are, as we speak, have been messaging me about wanting to know more information about your platform, and that's why I wanted to bring you on the show to talk them right through what you're going to do for the next 15 more minutes. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach, I have a flyer up here with all the colleges that are attending. Would you be able to maybe talk through what level and what conferences will be representing going to your showcase?
Yes, sir. Rob, we have 45 colleges confirmed at this point in time, which I'm really excited about. Excuse me. And some teams are still playing, some teams are finishing up, and they're getting their schedule together. But I'm really ecstatic to support from the colleges across our region. 45 colleges. Coach, we have 14 Division II scholarship colleges, 31 Division III colleges, and a few JUCO and post-grad schools. They're made up of about 15 conferences across the region that recruit the state of New Jersey. Right now, if you look, the PSAC, which is the 16-team league here in Pennsylvania, Kutztown won the PSAC championship, won the PSAC East. They're playing New Haven today. 2 national playoff teams. They'll be there, along with Westchester, Bloomsburg, Shippensburg, Seton Hill, East Stroudsburg. The Northeast 10, like I said, New Haven's conference championship winner. AIC, Assumption, St. Anselm, Post U out of the North. Division II scholarship schools. Mountain East, which is down south from where we are. Frostburg State had a great season this year with Coach Fitzgerald. And the CIAA team in the playoffs, Bowie State, Coach. They're coming for the first time. They're the 14 Division II scholarship schools there, and then you have the other Division III schools made up of all the conference, Coach. The New Jersey Conference with Montclair, TCNJ, Kane, Rowan. You see Salisbury on there. You got the MAC Conference, Del Val, Widener. Del Val's playing today in the first round. Widener playing a bowl game. Susquehanna played in a bowl game. FDU won a bowl game. You got the new MAC, Catholic U. Springfield won a bowl game. Norwich is coming down, Coach. High academic school, along with Springfield as well.
I love it.
The ECFC, you got Castleton Dean coming down out of the north. Western New England, I know they've been on the road. University of New England, they've been on the road in North Jersey. Empire 8, Cortland played Ithaca, Coach, at the in Yankee Stadium. How about that? That's pretty awesome opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Then you got Centennial Conference, Muhlenberg Conference champ. Susquehanna won a bowl game. Hobart out of Liberty Conference, they won a bowl game. Ithaca, Rochester, and Buffalo State, Coach. That's about 4 or 5 hours away.
Yeah.
So they're attending because of the high traction of the prospects out of the state of New Jersey. Then you got the MASCAC with WestCon, and my old buddy from the Fordham days out of the NCAC. Coach Nagy, coming out of Allegheny, which I know is about 5.5 hours away. He'll be there representing it. So it's a great output, Coach. We're fired up to have these schools, and it speaks to the timeline of recruiting of where we are that we're going to get into here in a minute. But there's a rhyme and a reason for these colleges come to do in-person evaluations at our showcase because the timing's right. And, they're looking to fill their class. We'll get into that here in a minute. But what a great support, what a great turnout. And that speaks to the high school coaches in the state of New Jersey. That speaks to the caliber of football. And that speaks certainly to high school prospects.
And as well as I do, recruiting comes with reputation. If they're not going to waste their time and they're going to be able to get some money for their time, they're going to come back. And they're going to come back. And they've been very successful getting athletes in the Shore Conference and also South Jersey. So,
no question about it.
So they're excited about getting some guys to join their family and their colleges, and it goes both ways. So it sounds like they had a lot of good experience, and it's going to be a great showcase for both days. I have a question. You had 2 showcases last year. What was the turnout of prospects, and then what was the feedback for the college coaches?
Rob, we came out of the pandemic, we're going through the pandemic. Our first scheduled event was first week of December, and it was indoors. The governor came out with a mandate that couldn't have any held organizations, anything indoors. Well, we were forced to go outside. So I was able to get a facility. Excuse me. So our senior showcase was December 5th, 2020. Beautiful sunny day, outdoors, 37 degrees, high winds. We had over 150 prospects, 42 colleges, and 72 college coaches. When I say the difference there, Rob, usually a young coach brings another coach with him.
Right.
So even though you only have 42 colleges, you always twist somebody's arm to run shotgun with you. So we had 72 college coaches there. Then we moved forward with the underclassmen showcase. That was May 2nd, 2021. 215 prospects, Rob, we had at that showcase, and over 50 colleges. Okay. So
with eyes on them. That's the important thing. There's eyes on them.
Well, Rob, you talk about the feedback.
Yeah.
Right? Again, why did I start Jersey Gridiron Scout?
Yeah.
I was a small college coach. You play your season. There's not a lot of recruiting going on in season. I had 120 schools when I was at Wilkes, at Gettysburg, at Bloomsburg. You try to do a little bit in season, but you're trying to win games. Yeah. And for us at Bloomsburg, we were playing in December. So there's been other colleges that had a jump on us for about a month.
Yep.
Well, you have to coach to win. That's why you coach. You play during the season. So my point to that is, number one recruiting tool is in-person evaluations by college coaches.
Yeah.
Spoken from a college coach. You're going to speak to the high school coach. You're going to watch the huddle film. There's not a lot of college coaches get out and see a high school Friday night game unless your college is right by 20 high schools that's 7 minutes away.
Correct.
It's just not happening. So the difference with what we do and a lot of other organizations, Rob, we're in-person evaluations because I know that's going to be credible. Because I know that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see you walk, talk, and chew gum.
Yeah.
I'm going to get your transcript from your high school coach. And if you attend our showcase, transcripts go to all those colleges. I'm going to speak to your athletic director and your principal when I'm out at your school. And that's the big difference. That's the bottom line. Why else, Rob, would 50 colleges be coming in December? Well, because they're just, I don't want to say starting the recruiting process, but that's exactly where they are in the timeline. They think our organizations are efficient and run well. That's the feedback I got. The college drills and stations, we put the kids through. So we do exactly what I did or as a position coach, the colleagues that I work with, we put them through college drills and stations and position work. For instance, the O-line will have 3 stations coached up by college coaches and or guys that are around the area that have training facilities and coach kids to where you're 15, 20 minutes doing O-line position drills.
Yeah.
3 skill sets at one, 3 at the other. You're seeing 9 different skill sets from an offensive lineman.
But, Coach, what the college coaches want to see is body language. They want to see body language. Okay, so how about the athlete that might not be the fastest, the strongest, or the most athletic, but he wants to see what he's doing during idle time? How's his body language? Because if that's a kid that he can see that fits into their program, he will be recruited. You can't get that on huddle. You can't do that, Coach. So a lot of these kids get looked at because of their personalities and how they blend in with everybody. So this is nothing but a positive experience for the kids. This isn't just for a kid who runs a 4.4. How about a
Right.
kid who runs a 5.3 but works
That's
his
right.
tail off and makes the other players, feel comfortable in their group? That's who they want in their team. Because in college football, you have 100 players, right?
That's
And you
right.
want good kids that work hard, and therefore that's what they want to bring. It's not all about just the drills. The drills are great, but the other stuff, the sweating with the guys and seeing all that, that's what I love about your showcase, Coach.
Rob, you hit the nail on the head. To your point, yes, we test them in the 40, the L drill, the 5, 10, 5.
Yeah.
That's a measuring stick. For me, that wasn't the be all end all. So now we're moving to your point. We're to watch a kid how he entertains the whole day. How is he? Is he first in line? Is he leading the O-line group? How is he? Again, we're going to coach them positively and hard for 20-some plus minutes. O-line, D-line, quarterbacks, receivers, different. They might not have done anything we're teaching them from the high school level, and that's okay. But how do they respond to that? Do they get better as the drill goes on? It's those type of things. We'll do routes on air with the quarterbacks, running backs. We'll do one-on-ones. And that's just, I guess that's the difference. The mental part is one thing, but the heavy weight of everything that we do, Rob, that these coaches want to see, I know because I did, how do they play? How do they move? How do they move football specific wise? And the other thing they talk about is the reps. There's no kids standing around. The coaches love that we go from station to station, drill to drill. There's no walk and talk. We have everybody live and going. If you've ever been, which you have, you've been to a temple practice, Coach. You saw us practice.
Yes.
And those guys practice with their hair on fire.
Yeah.
There's no standing around from anybody. So I think that's the big difference. And I think that's why the coaches enjoy what we do. The showcases run like a college practice, allows coaches to see exactly what they want to see, Coach. You know why? Because now they have to make an informed decision about what they see. Like you said, the huddle film is one thing. They really didn't see a play in person. This is the closest thing they can. And now that position coach or coordinator or head coach can go back and say, I really like that kid for these reasons.
Right.
Coach, some of these teams are bringing their whole staff. And that's again, eyes on evaluation. They go home. So when this breaks, they go home and they talk as a staff and they build that recruiting board. So a lot of positive feedback. I really think that, the platform that we have, we connect the dots. High school coaches support us. The college coaches show up. The kids show up. It gives a young man an opportunity because, Coach, you can't visit 5-7 schools in the next month or two. That's going to be hard.
Coach, I love it. I mean, I just want to go there and I want to see how guys respond to coaching, respond to somebody's questioning, eye contact, body language. He's turning maybe to the left when a guy's coaching or talking up. He's not paying attention because it has nothing to do with me. That's what I like to see.
How about the energy, the enthusiasm? Is he contagious, Coach? I mean, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, you can look at the NFL, Coach.
Yeah.
You can look at major college football. There's some marquee guys, but then there's some guys that are no-name guys that make out the history of the NFL that were great football players. And I think that's the credibility with these college coaches. Again, a lot of these guys I've broken the business with way back when in 1994 that are coordinators, that are head coaches. They appreciate the way we run things, know that when they come, they're going to get a good product.
I'm excited, Coach. Thank you. Coach, one other thing. When we talk about the recruiting timeline, how do your showcases intertwine with the recruiting calendar?
That's a good question, Coach. Everything's based around a recruiting calendar. It tells the high school coach, it tells the parents, it tells the prospect where they're going to fit in and where they're going to fall. Certainly from the 1A to 1AA all the way to Division II, Division III, NAIA, JUCO. November regular season has ended and the playoffs have begun. We talked about that. New Haven and Kutztown are playing. They're still playing. So by them playing, that's selling recruiting for them. Okay. You just looked at the high school. There's playoffs last night and today. That's ending. So the high schools are finishing up. Other colleges are done. There's 8 to 16 teams left in the country at every level, except for the big boys. They're still playing regular season. Coach, November 29th to March 7th is the contact period. Why is that important? In-person evaluations. We talked about it. So why is it important that it's a contact period? The coach can come and watch a kid play basketball, wrestle. They can talk to the head coach. Contact means they can finally talk to the parents and the young man. Prior to that, it was evaluation. You weren't unable to speak to that. So moving forward, you're going to start to see an influx of colleges hit the road recruiting. And they're going to come into the schools and meet those kids and find out what kids are for those. Then you move on to in-person evaluations, our 2 showcases. December 11th at Sportica Sports.
Mm-hmm.
All these coaches come off the road. They stay in hotels. They come to the showcase. December 18th, the Jersey Jam Senior Showcase at the Fieldhouse Morristown. They do the same thing, Coach. In-person evaluations. They're gathering information to take back because they're not the end-all, be-all unless it's a head coach or coordinator as far as a decision maker for their program. December 20th is the week of Christmas break. When schools are closed, high schools are closed, and the college coaches head off the road. What do? We head off the road. You head back. Used to be the old days, Coach. I used to have a mailbox of VHS tapes.
Yeah, no more.
And bring to them out of my car in. And you disperse them amongst your college coaches. So now it's huddle. Now you go into the head coach's office or the recruiting coordinator's office. Mm-hmm. They have the big lounge, and you sit there for 72 hours.
Straight.
Talk about having cheese. Yeah, straight. Talk about cheesesteaks and Coca-Cola. Holy Toledo. And you're grading those kids, and you're putting them in order on your board.
Yeah.
At that time, until after the new year, they'll convene as a staff with the head football coach and get their recruiting board in order. They will then offer and set visits over the holiday break. That's when I and these guys will finish up. And again, you're putting up Christmas lights as a college coach. You're buying Christmas presents. And I can reflect back. You're making calls at your in-between times away from your family as you're doing those things to call and offer those visits to those kids. So I was at Bloomsburg or Wilkes or Gettysburg. I had 120 schools. Between our full-time staff, I was going to sign 5 or 7 players.
Wow.
So I was going to if you think about it, you're going to sign a class of 25 to 30. You have 3 or 4 full-time guys at 5 to 7 prospects apiece. That makes up your recruiting class.
Correct.
So I would then, off of our recruiting board, would walk in and see where our staff ranked all of our guys. Right. And I would make my calls to the guys who are at the top of the list, to 20 prospects, hoping I can get 10 to 12 visits, hoping I can sign 5 to 7 kids. And those visits will be offered, and there'll be the 4 weekends, official visits in January, and the 4 official weekends in February, with the signing day being the first Wednesday in February, February 2nd. So even though that signing day comes, coaches will still invite official visit prospects on campus for official visits on the weekends. That's 8 opportunities. Now, we talked about that earlier in the session. That's hard. That's why the showcase is so important. These coaches are adding pieces to their puzzle to be able to move you up on their recruiting board because of that in-person evaluation. And then at the end of the day, Coach, college programs are looking to complete their 2022 signing class in March, the latest. So if you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, and you're a good recruiter, and you're on top with what your board looks like, you want to sign your kids because you have to move on to spring ball at the end of the day. Recruiting can't go forever. So even though the signing day is on February 2nd, if you don't sign that day, that's okay. Yeah. But take that month of February, finish strong, make your commitment to that school, sign your paperwork, and move on. So our showcases, Coach, they come at the right time. We enable another piece to the puzzle for the college coaches that doesn't exist. So I think it adds a lot of benefit.
I love it. I really do, Coach. Okay, now let me just remind everybody, Saturday, December 11th is the senior showcase at Sportica Sports in Manalapan. Registration deadline is Sunday, December 5th. To register, go to jerseygridironscout.com. For more information, follow on Twitter, Coach Pajic, and on Instagram, Jersey Gridiron Scout. Coach, I want to thank you for coming on the show and explaining your outstanding showcases that you're having in Manalapan and also down south, what you do for all the years. And now it's kind of zoning in on helping guys go to other schools, which is different than recruiting just for you, is outstanding for what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be wanted. And you're exposing a lot of kids in all the areas in New Jersey, and I appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Rob, I appreciate it. As a football coach and a football guy, it's a pay it forward type thing. Football's been so great to me in my life. Again, people that are in football understand when I say, it's given me my entire life. I've met my family through it. I've influenced kids. I've mentored kids. Now it's I'm not coaching any longer. It's a chance to get more factual information for kids that go through a tough time with their families to try to play at the next level. And we're just a platform, connecting the dots. High school coaches in the state have been great. Looking for a great turnout. Looking forward to seeing you there. And just continue to drive high school football to give a lot of these kids an opportunity that they might not have had before, just from bringing all these colleges to our home that they recruit. Make it easier financially, evaluation-wise, mom and dad-wise, prospect-wise. We always say, Rob, it just takes one school to like you. It's hard to hear, but it just takes one. And if we can provide that platform, it's well worth it and gold for us. So, again, appreciate you. Appreciate you having me on to spread the word. We spread it down here in South Jersey. We're moving up to the Shore Conference. Yeah. Hopefully we continue to go to North Jersey, the whole state. And, again, at the end of the day, Coach, it's about the kids. That's why we do what we do. And appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Coach, as a coach, I've always said this. There's a college out there for everybody. Doesn't mean you're starting, because a lot of guys, parents and all that think that when you're getting recruited, it's to be a starter. No, it's be a part of a program. So if your son wants to play football, there's a college out there somewhere. I sent somebody to Mayville State, Coach, South Dakota, from Barnegat.
Played with Quincy when I was out there.
Right? There was snow there in the mountains in September. The kid from Barnegat said, Coach, but there was one college that wanted him. So with that, but the other thing is this, in life too, you only get one first impression.
That's right.
And it goes both ways. It goes both ways. It's nice when the player has the power, but the coaches have to make a first impression on you, and you have to make a first impression on them. So it goes both ways. Remember that when you're there, you do not get a second first impression. I've always said that, and that's something that goes true. This is an interview, and win the interview, win the day, do it on the field, do it at your showcase, and things will fall into place. They really will.
Absolutely, 100%, Coach. There's no excuse, and that speaks to what we talked about earlier. Yeah. If you love the game, you're passionate about the game. Listen, it might not be the school you were thinking about going to, but that doesn't matter. Go where you're wanted. Go where they have your academics. Go where it's financially feasible, and go where that coach is spending a lot of time with you, because that tells you that he's really wants you a part of their football program for whatever reason. And at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want a 4-year college experience that will give you a great experience where you can play a little football, get a great academic degree, have your family, support staff see it play, and the rest is history. Whatever your goals are, you can accomplish them. But, the whole being slept on thing and the whole I just need an opportunity, well, I know there'll be 50 college coaches looking to give you an opportunity. But it's all about first impressions, like you said, Coach.
Coach, I'm pumped up. I'm ready to put on my cleats, my stuff, and work out for you. Do you think there's a college that wants me? I don't think so. So. I'm excited, Coach, to be at your event, and I'm going to definitely rally more people to go to kind of promote it from a media standpoint too. And this thing will be up Saturday afternoon, and it'll be presented to everybody all over the state of New Jersey. So answering a lot of questions that they probably may have leading up to your showcase. But all I know is that you run a first-rate program, wherever you're at on the college level in the showcases, and I fully endorse everything you do.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. Appreciate you, my friend, too. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, and I'll see you. And I'll see you in what? How long is that? 12 days, 13 days.
Right, buddy.
I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon, Coach.
You got it.
Thank you very much.